This is continuation of the chapter, that is principle of inheritance and the variation. I have already explained you regarding the Mendel. Mendel had proposed the monohybrid cross, dihybrid cross, initiating the inheritance of one gene, inheritance of the two gene, and also he come to the conclusion that genetic characters in an organism is controlled by a pair of factors, that is alleles, and proposed the following rules such as the principles of law of inheritance. They were the law of dominance, law of segregation, and law of independent assortment. And I have also explained the law of dominance and the law of segregations. To initiate this law, he had explained monohybrid cross, and to explain the dihybrid cross also he initiated the law of independent assortment. Now this is a part 3 where I am explaining the deviation from the Mendel's law. That means Mendel was not able to explain in his conclusion the variations occurs between the crossing overs and all. So this was after him there were many crosses were being proposed, which we call it as a non-Mendelian inheritance or deviation from the Mendel's law. Today in this video we will be learning the non-Mendelian inheritance apart from the monohybrid dihybrid cross. Coming to the non-Mendelian inheritance. In the non-Mendelian inheritance, this was being proposed after the Mendel work, but Mendel work was not being published. Later, there were many pioneers who worked on the Mendel laws, as in they've made it to be in a basic to the genetics. So hence he was being called as a father of genetics. So he initiates what is genetics, actually what is inheritance. So in non-Mendelian inheritance, we will be studying regarding the first one is incomplete dominance, and where we can see the white and the red rose in the parent, but in the F1 generation we come across a red rose which is an F1 hybrid. In the same way, the second is a codominance where the genes are expressed equally, where we give the blood group as an example. ABO blood group is an example for the codominance. The next one is multiple allelism or polymorphism. Then the fourth one is polygenic inheritance. And the fifth one is paleotrophy. So today in this class, we'll be studying regarding all these Mendelian inheritance. So let us get into the video. Coming to the non-Mendelian inheritance, the first one is incomplete dominance. So what do you mean by incomplete dominance? The first point I have notified as so, that is in it is the inherited in which offspring shows the intermediate character between two parental characteristics. That means it will not resemble phenotypically the parents, but genotypically it resembles the parent. So this was not been explained by the Mendel. So for that, the example they opted, actually it is said this was being discovered by Karl Kronz in 1864 to 1933. He was a German botanist and a genetist. He published his work, and even before Mendel worked with his pea plant and published his findings also. Since there were no discipline known as a genetic at that time, however, it was not fully explored. So it was not until after Mendel and Kronz that the term incomplete dominance came into the common usage or the common picture. But this mechanism, however, it started worked on, and what do you tell, the variation characteristic arises in between the two different alleles also is explained in this concept. So for that, the example they have taken is 4 o'clock, for flower color in a snapdragon, that is dog flower. The snapdragon is also known as a dog flower, which is a common name. Snapdragon is the another name, and Anthurium species is a botanical name, and the Mirabilis jalapa, which is called as a 4 o'clock plant. Here, the cross between the homozygous red and white produces a pink flower plant. So this picture you can see, this is a snapdragon and this is a 4 o'clock plant as such. So it is a process where the dominant gene, the dominant gene will be incompletely dominant over the recessive gene and produces a phenomena which will be intermediate to the parental type. that what we call it as incomplete dominance, or another name partial dominance. Whereas in monohybrid, Mendel explains that the tall is completely dominant over the dwarf, which is a recessive allele. So in F1 generation, we get the tall plant. So that was being proved by the Mendel. So here he explains in this incomplete dominance, the dominant allele will not completely dominate. It will incompletely dominate. So there is an arise in the new character, that is new variation, which does not resemble its parents phenotypically. Hence it is called as an hybrid also. Here is the cross. So when we observe the cross here, the parent generation, here the parent's generation taken is red and white. Okay. The gametes obtained are two capital R and two small r for white. So in F1 generation, you can see the one gamete R, another one is a small r. So this gametes in F1 generation give rise to a pink color flower, that is a capital R and a small r. According to Mendel, if this ratio comes, it has to be red only. But here it is an incomplete dominance. So it gives the red and the white when they are crossed. It gives rise to pink color hybrid. That is capital R and a small r are the alleles here. That is, in the ratio you can see a half of the red, okay, mixed with a half of the white flower. So in the X formed, you can see here. So half will be eggs and half is sperm here. So in F2 generation, we come across when it is been crossed, that is self-cross of F1 generation. When you cross this self-cross in the Punnett square. So this is called as a Punnett square. The Punnett square was been discovered by Reginald Punnett also. So you can see when R and see if this is self-crossed, that is capital R small r into again capital R and small r, you get the results. So which is the results? 2 capital R, then 1 capital R, 1 small r, again 1 capital R, 1 small r, and recessive 2 small r. So here you find the 3 types of phenotypic here. One is red color and 2 are pink color and 1 is white in color flowers. So phenotypic ratio, how do we write it as? That is red is to pink is to white. So red is 1, pink is 2 and white is 1. So accordingly the phenotypic ratio is 1 is to 2 is to 1. Coming to the genotypic ratio, we are considering the allele here. So how many capital R are there? 1 capital R is here. So here you can see. Then you find 2 capital, 1 capital R and 1 small r. It is repeated twice. So pink is 2 and the allele also is 2 here, and 2 small r is only 1. So this ratio we write in this way, that is 1 is to 2 is to 1. Accordingly, in incomplete dominance, the phenotypic ratio and the genotypic ratio usually will be the same. Thus, phenotypic and genotypic ratio are to be the same. This means the capital R was not completely dominant over the recessive R. Now, coming to the pea plant also shows incomplete dominance in other triads also. This is one example where we are trying to show you an hybrid. So, pink is an hybrid which does not resemble phenotypically its parents. It is an intermediate character born. So this is one of the variation which was not proved by the Mendel. Okay, second one is codominance. So in the codominance, what is codominance? It is a phenomena where both alleles in a heterozygote condition express themselves equally. It is a type of a non-Mendelian inheritance where both alleles contribute equally to the phenotype of the heterozygote instead of blending of the triad as in the incomplete dominance. This phenomena is explained by taking the ABO blood group in the human as an example. So here also the definition I have given you, that is it is a inheritance in which both the alleles of a gene are expressed in an hybrid. So this you cannot follow immediately. So I'll try to explain. Here one word is left here, that is, say it is a phenomena where both alleles are expressed equally. They are expressed. The word, very important word, is the word equally. So the both the alleles are being expressed equally, whereas in Mendelism, I have said you they are not expressed equally. Dominant is expressed whereas recessive is suppressed. In codominance, what happened? Both the gene, that is, both alleles of a gene are expressed equally in an hybrid. We call it as codominance. For this example is ABO blood grouping in human. So here I have written ABO blood groups are controlled by gene I. Okay, why the capital letter I means it is controlled by a gene I. Now, it controls the production of sugar polymer, that is antigen. So that protrude from the plasma membrane of the RBC. So when you have studied blood group, there we have said if the blood group is here in this I have shown, if the blood group is A, okay, it will be having antigen A. So according to the sugar produced, it is named as blood group A. If there is a presence of antigen B, that is sugar produced, if it produce antigen B is produced, means the blood group is called as B. Then if it is both, it is being produced, means it is the blood group is called as AB. If antigens are not produced, then the blood group we call it as O. This you know already. Now coming to the genotype, here we are trying to learn the genotype. So the gene I has three alleles. Which are the three alleles? Capital I with IA, IB and small I. So here IA and IB produces a slightly different form of sugar, whereas allele small I does not produce any sugar. So that is the difference. That's what you may have a question in your mind telling why these two are capital letter and why this is small. This is capital letter to represent the dominance also, and also the gene or the alleles which produces the sugar. The small I means it does not produces any type of sugar. So to refer the production of the antigen, that is according to the presence of the antigen only blood group will be decided. So henceforth the genotypes meant with this blood groups represents its genotype. For example, if the blood group A is there, so here you can see if the blood group A is there, the genotype will be like this IA, okay, and it will be in a two letters, that is IA, or it might also have IA and one small I. So this might be the different type of genotypes will be existing. So two types. So in a blood group way we are having so many genotypes. So either this you will be having or either this you will be having to represent the blood group. Okay. So that is regarding the ABO blood group where both the alleles are expressed equally. They represents equally. See, so this is a blood group and this is a genotype. So in blood group A, we are having two I, that is IA or IA and small I. If the blood group is B, you are having IB or IB and small I. If it is blood group AB, then it will be capital A and B. If the blood group is O, you find two small I. Now coming to the blood sample, in this pictures you can see if there is a presence of antigen A, so there won't be any coagulation. If the blood with the antigen B, you can see there is a coagulation. So for anti-D also there is no. So the blood group here it is said to be blood A. So in the same way, it is understood how do we identify the blood groups. Based on their genotypes, we identify their blood groups as such. So coming to the question like why there are two alleles as such means, yeah, whenever there is a presence of IA and I, the IA is expressed whereas small I is not expressed. That does not mean both are expressed equally. So that is understood through the codominance. Since they are equally dominant, they are called as the codominant. Okay, so that is according to this ABO blood group, we are having 56 different genotypic combination for human blood types and 4 different types of phenotypes also. So this side the blood groups are said to be the phenotypes, and this side genotypes means genetic constitution of the blood group it is. So here, as I've explained, this is an example for codominant. If the parent 1, so here you can see the parent 1, if the parent 1 is with the genotype IA and parent 2 is IA, the genotype of a offspring will be 2 capital I, that is 2 alleles will be represented, where the blood group is said to be A. Okay, that is antigen AA is being produced means the blood group will be A. That is phenotype. So if this is a genotype, this will be the phenotype. What is phenotype means? That is the morphological appearance is said to be phenotype. Genetical constitution is genotype, that you know. Now, if the parent, these are the possibilities. Okay, what are these? These are said to be the possibilities. If it is a parent IA and a small I, the parent 2, the genotype will be IA and a small I, and the blood typing will be, blood group will be also A. So here what happens, IA and I are being equally expressed here. Then coming to the another possibility, if it is IB and IB, the genotype will be IB. So that will be phenotype, the blood group will be B. Then coming to another possibilities, IB and small I. So IB and small I also represents the blood group B. Now coming to IA and IB, these two antigens are produced mean the genotype will be IA-IB, blood group will be AB. So if it is a reversed case, so if one parent produces IB, another parents with IA, the genotype of the offspring will be IA-IB with a blood group AB. Now coming to the last possibility, if both the parent produces two small i's, okay, so that will be there is no antigen, antibodies are represented, so two small I represents blood group O. So when IA and IB are present together, they both express their own types of sugars. This is due to the codominance. Hence blood grouping A and B becomes the ABO blood group is a best example for the codominance. Okay, so the codominance example, one example with father and the mother I have shown here. If the father is IA, capital I with a small I and capital B with a small I, the father and mother you can see here, that is IA and small I. So here it is being crossed. So IB is crossed with IA. What do we get? IA, IB we get. So this is AB blood group, and if it is crossed with IB is crossed with means this is blood group B, and these are the possibilities of the offsprings. So like this question they may ask you, in that case you have to cross. Now small I, if it is crossed with IA, you get this is blood group A, and I and a small I, if it is crossed you get two small I, that is blood group O. So here this is the one which is shown here. So blood group A means this is the genotype, blood group B this is the genotype, blood group AB two antigens, that is this is the genotype, for blood group O this is the genotype. So these are all the possibilities in the offspring. Okay, now coming to this side, if it is father is A and B allele is carry, the mother is I, you can also cross it. So when we cross with a small I with a capital I with an A, you get a blood group A, blood group B. Okay, so this is crossed with this. You get what? Blood group A and blood group B. Again, if you cross also, you get the same thing, blood group A and blood group B. So I and I, if it is crossed with any other father and mother, you will get in such way the blood groups in the offspring. So these are the possibilities of the offsprings if, carrying the mother and the father alleles. It is calculated in the codominance. Okay. So next is multiple allelism. What do you mean by multiple allelism? Multiple allelism is also said to be gene polymorphism. It is a phenomena of the expression of a single gene in more than two alternative forms. Again, I will repeat here. So this definition holds not so very easy for you. Means you can write down this definition, children. It is the phenomena of the expression of a single gene in more than two alternative forms. So what it is? It is the phenomena. It is the phenomena of the expression of a single gene in the more than two alternative forms. We call it as a multiple allelism. So it is a presence of more than two alleles of a gene to govern the same character. Example, alleles of ABO blood grouping. So there are three alleles, as I said you, IA, IB and I. In an individual, only two alleles are present. Multiple alleles can be found only in a population. So multiple alleles are usually found in a population. That what I am trying to tell you. It is a phenomena of expression of a single gene. That is one gene. Okay, it can be expressed more than in a two alternative forms. It can be expressed in two alternative forms. So which are the two alternative forms which has been seen in a population? See here, you can see IA represents here also the blood group and here also. So it can be expressed in a two alternative forms. Here coming to B. So here IB and here also IB. This also is expressed in a two alternative form. Whenever we come to AB, here also we find one B. Okay, so this how it can be expressed into alternative forms in an population. So that what is meant with that of polymorphism. So they are produced. So here I have written here example is ABO blood grouping. In an individual, only two alleles are present. Multiple alleles can be found in only in a population. They are produced due to the repeated mutation of the same gene in the different direction, whereas multiple alleles in a single gene for a character occurring in more than two alternative form on the same locus of the homologous chromosome. So the classical example only I have shown here, that is ABO blood typing. Okay, so capital A controls the production of the glycoprotein A, that is antigen A. I have revealed you, and the IB controls the production of glycoprotein or the sugar produced, that is the production of the antigen B to represents the blood group B. And if the allele I comes, it does not produce any type of glycoproteins or the sugar. That means it has an antibody. It does not produces any antigen. So it is represented in the small I. So next coming to the polygenic inheritance. So what is polygenic inheritance? It is an inheritance in which some traits are being controlled by several genes, that is multiple genes. Example is human skin color, human height also. It is considered that the influence of the environment might be due to some mutation also. Sometimes there is a change in the color of the skin also. And it is a polygenic trait. Phenotype reflects the contribution of each allele. That is the each effect of the each allele is additive. So you can see here in a population we find different types of height and also different variation of the skin color. So whenever we think of this polygenic inheritance, the polygenes, they are also called as cumulative genes or multiple genes. It is a condition in which two or more gene influences a single trait in an additive manner. What do you mean by this? What do you mean by this means, see, one color. Okay, one color it represents one trait, one character. So a single more number of genes influences one character should be expressed. So that one character I am trying to tell, either it might be skin or it might be the height. So that what we call it as cumulative genes or polygenic interaction, polygenic inheritance. That means a group of genes or a multiple genes, we can say more than two or more number of gene influences one single character, that is one single trait. It's called as polygenic inheritance. Okay, for that example we have taken is human skin color and human height. So I will repeat it. What is polygenic inheritance means? It is a condition where two or three more than that of a gene influences to represent a single character or a single trait in an additive manner. They aggregate in a manner to express a single character, that what we call it as a polygenic inheritance. Yeah. So the example I'm revealing here, if it is human skin color, assume that three genes are there, that is A, B, C, control the human skin color. So the dominant form is ABC, responsible for the dark skin color, whereas the recessive form, that is A, B, and C, for the light skin color. So those who are all having a dark color skin, they are highly dominating character. Usually if you are in the classroom, I would have been said you more number of dominating character and also recessive character. I think so in the first video I have said regarding the dominant characteristics and also the recessive characteristic in our body. So see the dominant character, that is the dark skin color is said to be dominating because it has a dominating allele such as A, B, and C. This is an example I'm giving. If you have the recessive form, that is a, small v, light color. Okay, light color means it is recessive. But usually, what do we think Indians? If you are quite fair enough, that is a dominating color, and if you are dark enough, that is a recessive color. But according to the genetics, see, it is ulta. Yes or no? Is it not a reversed case, children? Those who are of a very quite fair, they are of the recessive form. Those who are quite dark, they are of the dominating forms or the dominating trait they are. No? So genetic reveals many things which does not oblige to us also sometime. But we express things phenotypically. We never reveal genotypic. Okay, we never reveal the genotypic of the organism. So whatever we see through our eyes, we start with. So we also should analyze with that of the genotype and how important is the genetics in the human race. Okay. Okay, so human skin color, that what I explained to you. So here we have shown the three pictures, a black lady. So here genotype with the dominant allele, the to capital A to capital B to capital C gives the darkest skin color, and the genotype with the recessive allele, too small a, too small b, and too small c gives the lightest skin color. So genotype, so this is the lightest, it looks like in a chain. And here genotype with the three dominant, three recessive alleles give rise to intermediate skin color. Maybe that is our Indians. No, we usually have an intermediate color, that is a brownish wheat only we can say, which is an intermediate color between quite fair and quite dark skin colored. In between them we are there, so we are said to be the nor the completely dominant, not recessive also. So we are the one who express the intermediate skin color. So thus the number of each type of alleles in a genotype determines the darkness or the lightness of the skin. Coming to paleotropy. So this is where polymorphism I expressed that the additive manner of all genes expresses one character or the one trait. Here it is reversed. Here we tell that a single gene expresses, okay, what is paleotropy means? It is a condition in which one gene influences many characteristics. There many gene influenced one character. Here what? many one gene will influence many multiple trait. It influences the many type of characteristic. That's what we call it as paleotropy. So here single gene exhibits multiple phenotypic expressions, means such gene we call it as paleotropic gene. So both are different, children, don't get confused. Paleotropy, a single gene will try to exhibit a multiple trait. Their multiple gene will express single trait. So what it is, once again I'll tell you, multiple allelism, polymorphism means multiple genes will express one trait. Here one gene, that is single gene, will express multiple trait. Both are a reverse cases. So in the most cases, mechanism of paleotrophy is the effect of a gene on a metabolic pathways which contributes towards the different phenotypes. So here we have given example, starch synthesis in the pea plant, then phenylketonuria, it is a disease also we can tell, and sickle cell anemia, this is also one type of a disease. So here I have shown you two photograph where this is the baby with the single cell anemia, which represents the blood cells as converted into sickle shape. So this is an example for what paleotropy, and also phenylketonuria, where the skin color becomes whitish, eyelashes become whitish, hairs become whitish, and that we call it as phenylketonuria. These two diseases will be explained in the further genetic diseases. So and starch synthesis in a pea. So here how it spreads, the phenomena I have shown. So this is a single gene. This red color represents the single gene. This is called as paleotropy. So it expresses the multi characters, that is multiple trait. Trait means what? Characters it is. So it is phenotypically means morphological appearance will be of a different. So that what we mean with that of a different characters are being expressed. So that is trait A, trait B, and also trait C. In phenylketonuria and sickle cell anemia, the mutant gene has many phenotypic effects. So example, phenylketonuria causes mental retardation, also reduction in the hair, and also the skin pigmentation. So this why this example have given means one disease is considered, but that one disease gives rise to many symptoms. So all the symptoms are influenced by one single gene. All are different characters, right? Like mental retardation is one of the character, reduction in the hair is a character, and causing skin pigmentation is also one of the character. So all these multiple characters are borne by what? One single gene. So that what we call it as what? Paleotropy. So I believe you have understood the difference, main difference between paleotropy and multiple allelism. Okay, multipluralism or polymorphism. So both are important terms in that of the non-Mendelian inheritance. Coming to the paleotropy in the plant. So starch synthesis in a pea plant. Starch is synthesized effectively by BB gene, that is two capital gene I have represented here. Therefore, the large starch grains are produced. So here you can see the large star grains are produced. So this is a pea, that is Piscium sativum only we have taken. Two small bee have lesser efficiency in the starch synthesis and produces smaller starch grain. The starch grain size also shows the incomplete dominance here. The effective starch synthesis into lesser starch synthesis, that is 2 capital B, when it is crossed with the 2 small b, here example I have given. So you get a large seeds, capital B gametes, and a small seed. So the incomplete dominance is overrated here. So we get a B, capital B, and a small a, which is the intermediate size of the seeds. So star synthesis in a pea plant also represent that the single gene will try to represent more number of characteristic in the seed formation. Some will be bigger, large seed, some will be smaller seed, and some will be intermediate seed. So you get three types of seed size variation. So all these are being expressed by single gene only. Okay, it is effectively synthesized by the single gene. So that is a very good example for the paleotropy. So finally we understood the both the difference. So what is paleotropy? Paleotropy means nothing but a single gene will influence us in expressing the multiple traits. Polymorphism means what? The multiple genes will express a single trait. Okay, so that is the main difference between the two. Two are very important definitions for their annual examination, and also usually most questions also arises in the non-Mendelian inheritance, because usually Mendel laws you'll be studying in the school time also. After Mendel, what happened? See, after he died, only his work came into picture. It was published, so that become a basic for the genetics. Now, after that, what happened? He was not able to explain what is variations and all. So, this variation characteristic and all was being explained by many people, which also has an experimental proof also. So, henceforth, the non-Mendelian inheritance is said to be very important uh, topic. So I have explained nearly five important concepts in non-Mendelian inheritance. I hope you have understood, and try to write each slide in the form of notes, because this is all are the lines which are being in the NCERT only. According to the NCERT only, I have set up the slides and explained to you. Still, if you have any doubt, you can come to college. I'll be available. You can ask me your doubts, clarify. Okay, thank you, children. Try to watch complete video and write all the slides in the form of a notes in your fair notebook. Thank you.